how fucking horrible homeownership is, or can understand the fucking pain behind it sometimes. Oh.
Home ownership can kill your finances, can ruin your credit, can set you back in life if you're not prepared for it and you cannot afford it. Bottom line.
No, guys, many of you might be facing the same thing that a few of these guys are facing with buyer's remorse, and that is when you go out and you acquire a house not knowing the overhead costs or not knowing the true cost of owning a home. And again, guys, a lot of these guys will be ranting about their first house or what it is buying a house, and we are definitely going to be taking a look at a few of these guys. We're going to be listening to their rants, and we're going to be working this one out together. And as usual, guys, remember, come along for the complaints, but please expect different perspective. And as usual, this one is going to be a good one, so see you on the other side. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Guys, my name is Andre, and as usual, if you're stopping by for the first time, please go ahead and smash that like button. I would really appreciate it. Also, remember to hit that post notification bell so that you would be notified whenever I upload a new video.
Unpopular opinion, but owning a home low-key sucks. And I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or not, but I feel like since I was younger, I've just been made to believe, like, this is the goal. Like, once I, get into a home, like, I'll figure the rest out. Like, owning a home. It's always been drilled into me. Like, that's the goal. And now I semi-regret it. Like, the bills don't stop. No one really warns you about, like, how much money you need to have saved before. My friend, luckily, did tell me I need to save a lot because my friend told me this right when I was in the home buying process. So I did have some money saved, and I've almost blown through all of it already. Like, there's so much stuff that needs to be done. Like, even though you have all these stipulations on, like, what you need to fix before, like, it's just all these unexpected bills. And then I'm being told property taxes keep going up. I just keep getting bill. And I thought I got a good deal on my mortgage and, my other bills, and I accounted for most of it, but it's just like the unexpected stuff. Like, now that you're a homeowner, it's all on you, which I knew before, but I don't think that I realized how much money it was going to be. Like, if your air goes out, you have to put money to work on, like, certain things. Like, I know there's always projects going on in your house, but if anything breaks, it's necessary, your plumbing, all of this stuff. Like, some of it is covered by homeowners insurance, but, like, not a lot of it. So if you're thinking about owning a home, like, I would recommend that you have so much in savings, like, not just a couple grand, like, way more than that, because I am drowning. Like, I am just, having such anxiety. The holidays are coming up. I have 2 young kids. It's going to be our first Christmas there. And I'm going to try to make it special. So I'm trying to find all these, like, deals and stuff. And it's just like, I barely am making it. Like, I am barely making it. Like, I can barely afford my bills as it is. And then you get bills constantly. So I would really recommend thinking about it. I just don't know if it's worth it. Like, the homeowners, it's not all it's cracked up to be.
Hi, I'm Morgan. I'm 24. I own a home. I know it's a unicorn situation. It's cool. It's great. It's dandy. It's whatever. I have had a leaking water heater for probably a week and a half now. And I know some of you are going to be like, Morgan, that's way too long. I know. But it slowly progressed. It got worse over time. I just put towels up under it and just, like, gathered it toward the front and was like, oh, if I soak up the water and figure out where the problem is, I'll be fine. It got to the point where it was getting, like, overflowing into my entire HVAC room. So I was like, maybe I should probably get this checked out. But the plumber comes today and he looks at everything and he goes, for a 4-year-old water heater, because I moved into this house 2 years ago. The water heater is only 4 years old because I was the first person that moved in here after it was built. He looks at me straight face and he was like, for the 30-something years that I've been in this entire business and I've been a plumber, I have never seen such bad corrosion. Ignore the fucking mess. I've never seen such bad corrosion and rust and filth on a 4-year-old water tank and water heater. Not only that, but he said the gauge, the little pressure gauge that is on it that basically tells it how hot or how cold to make the fucking water is broken. Completely broken. Oh, which makes sense because every other person that's come in my house that's washed their hands at my kitchen sink is like, oh, 0 to hero. Every single time they wash their hands, like, Morgan, why is your shit so hot? And I was like, I don't know. I guess that's just how it is. And so I turned the gauge down. That's not fucking helping anymore. So now he was like, I can replace just the drip pipe and I can replace just the tray, but I recommend replacing the whole thing because it's a gas heated, whatever. If there's nowhere for the gas and the steam could go, the whole thing could go kaboom. And I just got the quote for it. I just got the quote for fixing everything. How are y'all paying all these fucking homeowner bills and fixing all this shit? Are you all strippers? Are you all winning the lottery every single month? Because how the fuck? Guys, I don't think I can thug this one out.
Home ownership has made me grow up in a way that I couldn't have imagined, and it's not a positive way. It has made me realize how greedy, capitalistic, and corrupt the world is. For example, homeowners insurance, travelers through Geico, but basically most of them, a lot of them, effing scammers. You think about how much you pay every single year, how much you pay in insurance. Think about taking that money and investing in the S&P 500. I bet you it is a lot of money. And the one time you have an incident, the one time you need your insurance company, they find a reason because they send you those packets, right? Those packets, who reads through every single line item in those packets? They send you those packets and then they send you more packets throughout the year. And they will find a word or a sentence in those packets to deny your claim. And the only way to get your insurance company to pay out is if you hire an attorney, which is absolutely ridiculous that in this country, in order to get your insurance company to pay to do what they're supposed to do, you need to go through the legal route, which is even more expensive. Same thing with hiring contractors. I am trying to get my home fixed and nobody wants to do it with a permit because when they do it with a permit, they can't cut corners. And the price difference doing something with a permit versus without is like 3 times. Okay, I'm not talking like 2 times, I'm talking 3 times. And you realize the reason why a lot of these people don't want to do it with a permit is because they just want to destroy a bunch of stuff, blame it on the guy before them, collect the money, and run off. And even you hire a licensed contractor, they're going to do what's in their best interest, not even your best interest. And let's say you want to sue the general contractor or the insurance company. The bill for the lawyer is $500 an hour. And trust me, racking up time is very, very easy for a lawyer to do. $50,000 will be gone like that. And you just have somebody's biggest asset, somebody's home that they and their family and everybody has saved so much money to purchase. And now everyone is trying to take advantage of the situation and you don't know who to trust. And it's made me grow up in a way where I wasn't ready to grow up. But I will not give up. But you guys, it is absolutely terrible.
I'm in the process of buying my very first house as a 28-year-old with no kids. I'm not married. I am in a relationship. I close in 7 days, and I feel like I should be super excited right now and happy, but in reality, I am terrified. And I am so nervous, and I want to back out, but it is literally way too late in the process for me to back out. And I've missed my last chance to do that. And so now I am just like sitting here and regretting my decision, but we're just gonna have to make it work. We're gonna have to figure it out. And yeah, I'm gonna be house poor. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna afford food. I don't know how I'm gonna afford gas. I don't know what I'm doing. Who let me do this? Who let me do this?
I'm going to be really controversial when I say this, and I'm talking to all of our parents out there. Buying a house does not make you successful. Don't worry, I did it by myself at 30. And so I'm going to walk you through why I would never fucking do it again. Specifically in California or LA, and I mean by myself. I signed those documents as a single woman, first and last name, because that's how they do it. If you have a partner that would split that with you, I think that's a completely different story. Again, bought my house by myself in LA. Let's go over the pricing. I bought a townhouse in LA, a 1-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom. It was $465,000. I bought it in 2021 because I thought that was going to be the cheapest thing possible. I had an interest rate of less than 3%. It was 2.99%. Things that I could not have factored in. HOA increasing. My HOA from month 1 went to $299, and then year 3 went to $486. The reason I'm talking about this is because my house is on the market. I am selling it for $535. Okay, so I'm going to minus broker's fees, improvements, escrow fees, title insurance, and corrective work or repairs. With that being all added up, my profit at the end of the day for 4 years is $15,206. I put 10% down. That's $46,000, okay? If I would have taken that $46,000 and for the exact same time period, so don't be like, the market's not reliable, exact same time period, February 2021 to June of 2024, I would have made a profit of $21,644. So the difference of that would be that I was up $5,000.
Y'all, so I just got my yearly escrow review, right? I own my house and I pay the mortgage. My monthly mortgage is $3,332.74. That's how much I pay to live here, okay? Remember, the people that tell me I live in the ghetto. I act like I live in Beverly Hills, but I live in the ghetto. But in order to live in this ghetto house, I pay $3,332.74. Well, guess what? Your girl just got her yearly escrow. So, boom. They say, by the way, Mr. Cooper is my loan folks. Mr. Cooper wrote me a letter and they said, hey, girl, you have a shortage in your escrow of $12,426.11. Wow. Okay. How did that happen? Well, several things probably happened. Probably taxes went up. But remember, y'all told me I live in the ghetto, so they say probably your property taxes went up. Maybe your homeowner's insurance or something went up. Okay. Guess what? They're telling me my new mortgage will be as of March 1st. Okay. So if I pay this 12 option 1 is to don't do anything and starting March 1, my new mortgage will be, are you ready? $5,337.65. Okay, watch this video out to the end so I can get paid. Okay, please, thank you. Okay, or I can pay the $12,426.11, and my new mortgage will be $4,302.14. Yay! What? So my mortgage is going up $2,000.
But instead of your money going to rent, you're building equity in your home. No, you're not. Shut up. Second that you think you have enough money to maybe go on a vacation or take a weekend off from doing work around the house. You need a roof, 10 grand. Just open a credit card, get more debt. AC, new AC, 10 grand, no problem. You had a flood and the toilet flooded the house? You're fucked. Don't get a house. Rent where you can afford it. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your weekends. Do you really want to spend your weekends learning how to fix a fucking toilet? Buying a $200 tool that you'll never fucking use again to fix your fucking dishwasher? And if you're in Florida, you have the extra threat of insolvent insurance companies and hurricanes and Ron DeSantis, termites, ants, Earth just opening up and swallowing your house. It might have worked for the boomers because they were buying houses that were built in the 50s, in the 80s. But 80 years later, we're still buying houses that were built in the 50s. Really want to sign your life away to debt for an 80-year-old house that's fucking falling apart that you're going to have to take care of the rest of your life?
No, guys, in this one, I could see where they are hit with buyer's remorse. And like a lot of us, we've been told the American dream is to own a home and it shows that you're doing well, or it shows that you've achieved something, or you've achieved something big, or we've been told that owning a home is a sign of wealth. No, the truth is, the feeling that you normally feel when a realtor is searching for a home with you is completely different from day one when you're being handed that key. Guys, a lot of these guys are not taking into consideration the HOA fees. They're not taking into consideration repairs. They're not taking into consideration property tax. They're not taking into consideration the fact that these things will continue to increase. So on day one, you might have been told that your mortgage would have been maybe $1,200, but in reality, it will be more than that. And this doesn't take 2, 3, 4, 5 years before you start to feel the added cost of owning a home. So I could clearly see in this one where they are faced with buyer's remorse, because they obviously didn't take into consideration that there will be property tax, repairs, fees, charges, maintenance that will come along with that mortgage that they signed up for. But guys, on this one, I want you to tell me, what was it like owning your first house? What age you probably owned your house? Did you feel the same buyer's remorse? Did you feel the stress or the strain? Did you feel like you wanted to sell your house? What was your experience owning a first house? If you had to do it again, would you purchase a house again in regards to renting? Now, before I show you these videos, I'm going to say, I've been asked many times, is it better to rent or is it better to own? No, these guys need no introduction. They have been around real estate for a long time, and let's take a look at what they're saying when it comes to either owning versus buying.
Home ownership is amazing when you are prepared for it and when you can afford it. Home ownership is horrible when you're not prepared for it. Honestly, let me rewind. Home ownership can kill your finances, can ruin your credit, can set you back in life if you're not prepared for it and you cannot afford it. Bottom line. So you got to assess where you are financially. We're going to talk about this a bit later on in the show. You got to assess where you are financially to really understand where you are and what you can do.
You said a home is a terrible investment.
It is a terrible investment. Doesn't cash flow. You don't get big tax write-offs because of it. You have no leverage. You're living in it. You're paying for it. You never own it. Even when the loan's paid, you don't own it.
Really?
No, you still got to pay property taxes. Still got to insure it. Still got to maintain it. If you just break it down and don't become emotional, because people get emotional about their house. This is my house. It ain't your house. You're a partner in this house with the state.
Your recommendation to a normal family would be to rent?
Never buy a house. Rent where you live. Take all your money and invest in properties that cash flow. I'm not saying don't own real estate. I'm saying live in a house and pay rent. Take all the money that you would have spent on that house and invest in real estate that cash flows, that pays you every month. Could be retail, storage, apartment buildings like we invest in. Could be land. If you're a farmer or a rancher and you know how to get cows to cash flow, then do that.
This is how most people think about buying a house. They think, Grandma bought a house in Austin, Texas in 1970 for $100,000. Grandma just sold it 50 years later for $1 million. Grandma made $900,000. They go, it's the most profitable thing you could do, buy a house. I go, okay, that sounds really nice. Did Granny factor in how much she spent on maintenance for the past 50 years? No. Did Granny factor in inflation and how that affected her return? No. What's inflation? Did Granny factor in the opportunity costs of what that down payment could have been used if invested in the S&P 500? No. And did Granny look at all these phantom costs such as interest on the loan? No. It's not simply the bigger number minus the smaller number. That's wrong. That is simplistic. For the biggest purchase of your life, you've got to go deeper. Again, when I was living here, I kept a very close eye on real estate. And the place right next to me, same square footage, same number of bedrooms, same everything, it would have cost 2.2 times what I was paying in rent. So just to give you an example, if I was paying $3,000 a month, it would have cost about $6,400 a month to own. Okay? I said, you know what? I like renting. If I have a problem, I just text my landlord. I took the $3,400 I would have spent owning when factoring in phantom costs, maintenance, interest, taxes, all that, and I simply invested it. and I made more money doing that than I would have owned.
Now, personally speaking, guys, I do own and I also rent. Here in New York, as you all know, I rent, but in Florida, I own. The difference is the property I own in Florida is rented, so it brings in an income for me. So when you really look at it, guys, I'm exempt from property tax here. I'm exempt from maintenance here. I'm just hassle free. Now, when anything breaks, I will definitely call the landlord and he will have to take care of that. So that added cash, that extra cash that I'm not paying through property tax or maintenance, I could definitely invest that money in an ETF, for example, or a high yield savings account, for example. So guys, you have to figure out what's best for you or what works for you, because what works for me might not work for you, and what worked for someone else might not work for me. So again, guys, you have to figure out if owning a home at this time is what's best for you, or you have to figure out if renting is better for you. For me, renting is better because I could invest the extra cash. Now, once again, guys, we have come to the end of another great video, and if you found value in this one, please go ahead, subscribe, like, or share. Or better yet, if you know someone that might find value in this video, please go ahead and share. Now, you know you won't get all your information from this one video, so please go ahead and click on this video right here. And now you will have access to the financial market, the financial news, current affairs, and my journey towards financial freedom. Now, as usual, guys, be safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.